Hello everyone, welcome to TradeVast, the online trading academy. This is Dynamic FX bringing in today's market analysis for proactive trading. Before we begin, I'd like to let you know that the information I will provide here is strictly for educational purposes only and should not be misconstrued as an investment advice. Please know that trading is risky, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the right education. So before you jump into this, ensure that you are aware of the risk involved and you have the right knowledge and information. Okay, that being said, happy new month. This is the first day of the month. Please, we want to encourage you to subscribe to our video. This is our first video. We intend to produce more videos like this that will provide information about the market, and we'll be doing a lot of market analysis. So please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification button so that you'll be notified every time we post a new video. Also encourage us by hitting the like button. This will help us and encourage us further. All right, without much ado, what we intend to show you in this video is the processes and the routine that we go through in making trade decisions. I will show you how we make our trade decisions, what we've learned from what professionals do help guarantee consistent returns on investment or help you achieve a consistent profit while you trade. Towards the end, we'll also be introducing or be telling you more about the Trading Academy, and we hope that you stick around to the end. So at TradeVast, what we usually do before we take a trade, or how we come about our trade decision, is we always look at three things basically. We look at the sentiment of the market. We also look at the fundamentals of the market before we talk about the technicals. All right. So, what is sentimental analysis? Sentimental analysis, basically, what we try to achieve is we try to understand what the perception of the key players of the market is about the market generally. So who are the major players in the market? We have big banks, we have big institutions, we have big hedge funds, we have speculators that participate in the market, and these are the key players that actually drive price. This is different from a lot of us, or a lot of traders do not pay attention to this, and that's why we usually have a lot of losing trades. It is very important that we understand that, because these players actually decide which direction price should go. So before we do that, we actually rely on a tool that we call report, which is called the Commitment of Traders Report. We get from the CFTC. CFTC is a regulatory body in the United States that regulates the activities of key investors. So what the government there did was to actually compel traders to submit the report on a weekly basis. This report is published, is made available to the public. And I can bet you that a lot of traders are not aware of this information or do not pay attention to this information. But what we do at TradeVast is to get a feel of what these big institutions are looking at. They are the 1% of the population that actually always succeed. They are the ones that drive the activity in the market. So they have the tools, they have the gadgets, they have the indicators, they have professionals. A lot of the people that work for these big institutions like the Morgan Stanley, big hedge funds, most of them hold their PhDs, they hold masters in statistics, mathematics, finance. So it is important that we pay attention to these guys. So that's what we do here at TradeVast. We try to get a view, get their own perspective first. Before we do anything. So what we've also done, you will, if you get to subscribe, like we'll discuss later, to our educational courses, we'll introduce you to some of these things that will help you understand how to read and understand the sentiments of the market based on this report. It's a very powerful tool. So what you also discover when you come on board, or if you enroll for our program, is that some of the indicators that we use in this academy are customized. We build most of these indicators for ourselves. Some of them we modify based on what we find in the market, because the market has become very dynamic. It's different from what we used to know back in the days when we could just trade simple support and resistance and trend lines and simple indicators like the MACD or the RSI indicator. It has become more volatile, and that has pushed us to actually do more research and try to understand some of the new ways of trading the market. And I also like to add why most of our new traders we also feel is that we restrict ourselves only to trading one particular asset, and we focus on just one segment of the market, while most institutional traders always focus on a broad market. They focus on portfolios, all right? They focus on different type of asset class. They move money. You see capital flow from different markets. It moves from the currency market into the stock market, the indices market, treasuries, commodities. So at TradeVarsity, you will learn those skills that can help you trade any market profitably. So sorry for the digressing. So what I was saying that before we take a trade, we want to see what the big guys are doing, the big banks, the big institutions, the hedge funds. All right, we want to see what they're doing. So we use this tool. We designed this. We call it the COT analyzer. So it helps us to see what the sentiment is generally in the market. So we have a section that would look at the positions of speculators in the market. These the guys that look at speculation in the market. We also have a market overview in terms of their position for the. Sorry, my drawing is really bad. We look at positions of key speculators in the market. We look at their positions over time. So this is something I know most of us are not used to. So this is one of the key things you will get to learn if you enroll into our academy. We're going to train you and make you equip you with this information. All right. So what we usually do is to see what the last report was saying, and we look at what the market overview is in various sectors of the market, and we see which positions or where money is flowing to and flowing out of. So we take positions in those markets. We look at everything. We look at down from the currencies market down to the stock market, the treasury markets and commodities, because at TradeVarsity we understand that all the markets are correlated. They are intertwined. When one reacts or maybe market moves up in one area, it affects the other market and reduce, or we might experience a decrease in another market. So we watch all those movements. We try to see how money is flowing around in those markets and where these smart guys are putting their money. We call this strategy following the smart money. So once we've done and we've been able to determine the sentiment of the market, especially when we notice that there's significant transactions moving to maybe a particular currency or a particular asset class or a particular segment of the market, it helps us to now start asking the question, why? Which is what we feel most traders do not do, which leads us to the second step that we try to do. For instance, we may have noticed maybe a significant movement in somewhere around the British pound, but we're noticing the inflow of transactions in the British pound as at the 23rd of April. That was as of the last report that was released. We've seen lots of money, maybe transactions around the British pound or some transactions around the Japanese yen. Okay, we've also seen some transactions in the stock market. So the way we will interpret that, if you also look at the treasuries, look at the euro bond for the euro. This is the treasury bill for the euro. In the way we interpret this, looking at the red bar, we're seeing a sell position. This red bar represents sell. The blue bar represents buy. So if depending on the side of the chart that is, so as a trader you need to be able to read charts successfully. That is your tool. That is the power to use succeeding in the market. So looking at this chart, we have like we can see here, we have more sell pressure on the currency and a buy on also a bit of a buy. But if you look at what is going on in the treasuries market, you can see a lot of buying, a lot of investment in the treasuries or in government treasury bonds. for that particular currency. What that means is that we're seeing more money chasing the treasury bill. So, which most of the time can strengthen the currency, can strengthen your currency, even though we are seeing a lot of sell in the currency market. So that is one way we look at it. But before we also now do that, we don't just run off with this sentiment. We also want to now see the fundamental outlook for this particular currency. We use what we call an economic calendar. Um, we use what we call an economic calendar and see, okay, why is that going? Why why that heavy position in euro? Why is it that there are more sellers, and why are they buying the treasury bill? Because what I see a lot of traders do is that they just base their analysis strictly on just using one particular technique. But like I said, trading has gone beyond that level, and you will not expect that money should be hanging on trees, and you expect to grow your capital in the long term just relying on that piece of information. Trading is all about information, having the right information, and it's not about the amount of profit that you make. It's also about the quality of decision that you make. It's very key. It's not about the number of decisions, although the quality is very important. And trading is a skill, it's an art that you need to learn and acquire the skills. So, for instance, like you need to tell yourself, if you have a lot of PhD holders looking at this same market that you trade in, then what gives you the edge? You need to ask yourself that question. If you have ever traded the market, I'm especially talking to those that have been trading for quite a while. You also notice that you've not had significant improvement. If you look at over time, if you had a consistent profitable trading. Okay, so it goes beyond just looking at your charts and just hoping that price. You need to ask the question. You need to always be curious to find out why price is behaving that way. So at TradeVersity, we start by looking at the sentiments, like we said, we're using that report. We also have some other tools that we use in gauging sentiment in the market, but this is one of the tools that we use. And it's one thing to have access to that tool. Interpretation is also another thing. Then we move from sentiment analysis, we move to the fundamental analysis. So we want to see, is there anything that is actually making the big guys take positions in that particular asset? So we look at the economic calendar, we look at the economic data that's coming out. This economic data help to determine the strength of that particular economy. So we look at some of those economic data. They are not information or data that we can base a trade decision on, but it only helps us to understand why the investment, why money is flowing into, what is the expectation of the market. So it helps us put the sentiments of the market in perspective. Okay, so for instance, we saw the sell positions. We saw a lot of sell position, but a lot of buy in the euro in the treasury market. So what we would have noticed that if looking at this calendar, we would have noticed that, like for today, there was an ECB speech, which as a trader you also need to be aware of what is going on in the news. But do not take your trade decision based on what you get in the news, because there are things that are very subjective, so you don't want to pay too much attention to them, but still be aware. That will help you inform maybe why the big guys are taking the decision in that particular trade. So we've seen that we're expecting an ECB speech in the Eurozone. A lot of the information to also centered around the US dollar. There was also a Fed interest rate decision, although the change was not expected. So this will give you a view of what they are looking at. So it might also help you guide what your trade decisions. So that's what we look at. So as a rule of thumb, you don't want to trade against the market sentiment. You don't want to trade against market sentiment. The chances of you succeeding will be very, very, very slim. All right, and so you also want to be sure of the economic outlook or what the economies are saying. Okay, that's why you need to look at the fundamentals. This is what they call fundamental analysis, where you analyze economic data. So also try to avoid some people mistake fundamental analysis with trading news. And I believe in my own personal opinion, they are not the same thing because we're talking fundamental analysis focuses on economic parameters, economic data. But if you're trading the news, just maybe for instance, you hear that maybe there was a robbery in the United States, for instance, that may not really have significant impact on maybe the prices of any asset in the United States, be it the currency or any asset or the prices of the housing prices, for instance. So we need to differentiate between that. What you want to focus on is the economic data that has been measured that kind of determines the economic value in that particular country. All right. So invariably, that will have that impact on the value of the currency or the value of goods and services in that country. So when we are done with the fundamental analysis, that now helps us to now go into the charts. We do what they call the technical analysis. So, like I said earlier, most of the indicators that we use, or and one thing about technical analysis, there are 1 million ways to carry out technical analysis. There's some of us, some of us will say we use price action, supply and demand zone, chart patterns. Some of us use indicators like the MACD, the RSI. So there is no one best way. But you need the one thing you will learn at Traders is how to build a trading strategy or a trading system around using technicals. So this is that some of the things we're going to be showing you. I'm also going to be showing you because one thing I try to say to about technical analysis is the fact that some of the tools that we use, have we ever asked what do the professional traders use in their technical analysis? How do they analyze the market? Do they use the MACD? Do they use the RSI? Those are some of the tools. But I'm sure when you come to, or when you enroll for our program, you will find out some of this information, and you also notice that some of the tools that we use to trade the market have become obsolete and not sufficient to guarantee profitability in the long run. We might be experiencing short gains here and there, but we will definitely reveal some of those things to you when you enroll for the program, and we'll talk more about the program as we proceed. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification so that you'll be notified, and also hit the like button if you like the information that you are getting from us today. So we talked about the sentimental analysis, we talked about the fundamentals. Okay, we now do what they call the technical analysis, where we'll try to guess where price will move to next based on historical price movements. All right, so and that is where we use various tools like the support and resistance. You use trend lines, you use your moving average. We have a trading strategy that we've developed, which we call the dynamic strategy. We'll be happy to share that with you. We look forward to you enrolling for the course ahead. All right. So, given that the information we were able to get from the COT analyzer, we also looked at the fundamentals. What we now do is we go to our chart and try to see where price is at the moment and identify key levels that we could trade from. Okay, so like I said, those information is just one piece of the puzzle. Our ability to now choose to enter the market at the right price is just like when you go shopping. It's very important that you find out you want to be able to get the best bargain, you want to be able to get the best price, and that's always the thing about trading. Why trading is an art, and that's why you need to enroll for a program, because in trading, information is key, because just like you, like I said, when you get to like a store and you want to pick up groceries, or you want to pick up an item in the supermarket, how do you know whether the price is too high or whether it's too low, whether you're getting the best price for the product that you're paying for? That is where technical analysis helps you. So you can see at a glance where price is at the moment, and you can be able to identify through history where price has been, and use that to determine where price is going. All right. So when you have all this information put together, the ability to enter and maybe strike a good bargain is where what determines a successful trader from an unsuccessful trader. All right. So this is what we do at Trade Velocity. We've done sentimental analysis, we've done the fundamentals that helps us identify the what is informing the sentimental decisions that they are taking on a particular currency pair. Then the technical analysis will help us trade in the direction of the sentiments and the fundamental analysis that we've done. So we align all this to be able to take informed trade decision. So looking at the Euro USD, we look at the Euro USD, you can see this is like the sell playing out. What we've seen throughout today was a bit of a push to the upside, and you can see if we even remember what we saw in terms of the fundamental analysis, or in terms of the court analysis. So let me quickly take you back there. You can see that the position we took on the 23rd of April for the euro is a sell and a buy. We'll take a look at the British pound shortly and see if price conforms. So this will just go to establish the fact that there's more to trading than just looking at price charts and patterns and looking at indicators. We need to understand what is driving price. We need to understand why price is moving that way, and where we want to get in, okay, to partake of that price movement. So you've seen that there's a sell pressure here, and there's a lot of sell positions here, and a bit of a buy position. If you look at the charts, look at what happened to just today. Looking at this, you can see at the beginning of the day, price was pushed up, representing that buy position we're talking about. And look at this huge drop in this candle. Just look at that. So a trader that has no most of the new traders or amateur traders wouldn't have seen that coming. They won't even understand. So you might have taken a buy position thinking this will always continue. It will always continue because it's there. And you can see where that trumps all the conventional trading strategies that we know. Okay, this would have been an uptrend. This would have simply been an uptrend for experienced traders that understand what I'm saying. But for new traders, do not worry. You'll get to learn more about these things when you enroll for the training academy. So you can see the role of sentiments in the market. Okay, and so that was quite something. All right, so once we've done all that, one new concept that a lot of us, that most professional traders also do that we don't do, is what they call risk management. Yes, a lot of us may not have heard about that, but you might mistake that for money management. And a lot of us we mistake risk management for money management. I believe, at Trade Velocity, we believe that that's not the same thing. Money management will only speak to the amount of money you should stick at every point in trade. Managing risk itself is how you want to maximize your profit by limiting your risk and making sure that you account for every element of risk that may make you have a losing trade. Okay, that is why I said earlier that at Trade Velocity, we don't just focus on trading one particular asset. We focus on a broader market, which is what the institutional investors do. Institutional traders also do. Professional traders, they move capitals from one market to the other. So, which is what we also have been able to learn over time to do. We don't just focus on currency market. We also trade stocks. We trade bonds, commodities like gold, silver. We also trade energy like crude oil. Okay. One of the key risk management tool that we've been able to learn how to trade is the options. A lot of us will be used to the binary options, but we took it a step further to learn about the vanilla options, which what most traders are not used to, but which that's what institutional investors use to manage risk. They use that to hedge their positions, and it's a very beautiful risk management tool. Um, like what you notice with like last week, I could show you what the platform looks like. These are the things you get to learn when you go for the courses, how to trade options successfully, and use that to manage your risk. For instance, what we've noticed over time that the volume in the market, currency market, has been very low, or especially when you want to take a trade position and you are not sure of the direction of which market, and you don't want to expose your capital, a much more risk effective way or an effective way of managing your risk is to trade options. So this is something that is new in this side of in this part of the world that we intend to educate people on. So as I'm going to tell you more about the courses that we're going to be offering. So I believe this will help you greatly. All right. Okay. This is coming up. So options is basically contracts that most that, like I said, big institutions or most investors use to manage risk. Or it allows you to participate in a particular transaction without committing too much capital, and you are not obligated to do anything. It's basically a contract between two parties. And think of the options like buying insurance. Buying your insurance, you pay your premium. Pay for a premium to protect your car. So in options, you pay premiums to protect your investment. So and you only you get to choose. You have an option to choose whether to exercise that option or not. Just the same way, if you have an accident and your car is also insured, you can decide to exercise your right and allow the insurance company refund or make and replace the damaged asset, or you can just decide to fix it yourself, which is the same way options works. So, well, just last week we took a trade. So far, so good. Especially, one beautiful thing about options is that you don't always have to worry about stop loss, the stop loss getting hit, or you having losing trade. To manage your risk effectively. So, this is just what the platform looks like. It's still coming up. So we look forward to you coming on board. We have so much to show you. There's so much to learn and to unlearn. Some of we also need to unlearn. And we have a very strong philosophy about mindset, which is some of the things we are going to also be teaching you. So this is a trade we placed Euro USD. We bought both. We executed what we call a strangle strategy, where you're taking a buy position in a put option and you're taking a buy position in a call option also at the same time, in such a way that regardless of whichever way the market moves, you're still going to make money in whatever direction the market moves. Look at the trade we placed in USD, for instance. Since we've noticed that the price has been ranging for quite a while, we executed this trade in options and the volume has been filled. So what happens is anywhere price moves, if price moves this way, we make money. Let me highlight that part of the screen so you can see what I'm saying. So the price, this is price, this black line here. So the price moves up this way, you still make money. You can make as much as $300 And if price moves the other way against us this way, we can still make as more as 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 uh, as high as 200. So this is another game changer for any trader, and you need to also learn how to use this tool to your advantage to manage risk, like I said. Okay, so and this kind of trading will also help you not to sit in front of your screen all the time. So we've said so much. Now let me talk to you about the online trading academy and what we hope to achieve or what you stand to gain by enrolling to the online trading academy total. All right, yeah, total was put together by a group of young entrepreneurs that I've looked at. We've seen what is available online in terms of the level of education, especially in Nigeria, towards trading, and that is why the perception of online trading has been some sort damaged because a lot of people that claim to know about trading do absolutely don't know what they're doing concerning trading. So what we decided to do, we put together, we've done the research, put together a course that will help you learn how to trade like a professional and trade effectively, so that you can grow and grow your capital effectively. So what are the benefits if you enroll for this program? One of the things, like we've shown you, how the efforts or the work we put through coming up with a trade idea. So we don't just take any trade aimlessly without any form of deep analysis, considering the kind of institutions we are up against. So we put in great work, and we are willing to share that knowledge with you so that you can come up with great ideas, great trading ideas that can earn you good profits and earn you good money. So, and even over the course of the this video, I've mentioned severally that it's not really about the amount of profit that you make. It's also about the quality of decision that you make. All right. One of the things you'll be learning at Tradevers, your online trading academy, will be showing you, helping you build the right mindset. Will help you build the right mindset. We will take you through advanced technical analysis, advanced fundamental analysis. We will also take you through sentimental analysis. We'll take you through effective ways of how to use your platform. You would also learn amongst like minds, people of like passion. We'll give you group assignments, there will be group tests, there will be group research that we will do, and you will also have professional instructors that will put you through and guide you as you learn. We also have a platform for one-on-one learning if you're interested in that. The good news is we also have an online training platform where if you don't have the time of coming to a classroom setting, we have a package for that also. We will also be exposing you to most of our resources. Like we said, a lot of our resources that we use in trading are custom made, and when you subscribe, we'll take you through that. We went a step further to differentiate ourselves from the crowd out there, and to let you know that your success is our own passion. Because when you succeed, we also succeed. We decided to first provide a 1-day free training. When you enroll, you get the first day, or before you enroll, you can get a free 1-day training. Also, we took that step further to also provide funds for you to learn how to trade when we are done training you, so that you don't start risking your own capital. We are going to provide the real funds for you to be able to practice how to trade using the techniques that we would have shown you. All right. So I also talked about the fact that you're going to get dedicated instructors, professional instructors from various fields. Our instructors are well trained. They're from various fields. They have at least a degree of some sort that will help you learn, not just from anybody that must have learned from the internet and just claim that he's a professional. We we've put in the work to be able to get to this point, and you are assured of nothing but the best from this particular course when you enroll. So I've said so much. I believe that you've also seen, given the way that we trade, how we are taking you through the various process of what we look at to come up with a trade idea. You've seen that it's different from what you were used to and what you actually heard. Most of us have lost a lot of money paying for signals, paying for some education that you thought would actually guarantee profitability in the long run. But you can tell this just from this little video, and you can see that what we have is can help you, if not avoid bad trades. It can at least it can also help you grow your capital in the long run. All right. So for you to subscribe, is the process is simple. Just visit www.tradevarsity.com and register, and we'll get back to you and provide you information for the classes. So we have both. We have the online, we have the one-on-one classes, and we also have the classroom, physical classroom training. So what are you waiting for? And just enroll, and we will ensure that your experience in trading and you also get to your experience in trading will improve drastically, and you will also achieve your financial goals quickly. Thank you.